Hello, everybody. Welcome to week two. We got through that first week. It was good to kind of get to know you all in that first discussion post. And what I really liked to see was actually that you got involved very quickly and you started to introduce yourselves to a lot of your classmates. And what I thought was kind of neat is a lot of you, it sounds like, are actually on the same campus, whether it's East Lake or Wauwatosa or something like that. So maybe you get to know each other a little bit. In the real world, not the virtual world. So I'm really glad to get to know all of you, and I'm excited to kind of get to know you even more as the semester goes on. On to week two, though. So you've been working on these emotional intelligence essays, which has been very, very good, and what I'm seeing so far is good. So we're going to build on that a little bit when we start talking about communication and specifically language. This is one of those, it is a branch of philosophy, linguistics. Semiotics is something else, dealing with signs and symbols, but a branch of philosophy that is maybe often overlooked, or just kind of branch of thinking that's often overlooked. We think, well, we use language all the time. Why do we need to study it? Well, we're really going to kind of get to the core of that question this week, and we're going to do it through two major terms. One is connotation, and one is denotation. So you'll watch this video. You'll watch the video that's actually in the week two materials, and you'll read the lecture notes, and you'll find really quickly that this is actually pretty important stuff. What do I mean? Well, when I say the word denotation, when something denotes something else, we're really talking about very generally maybe a dictionary definition of a term. So imagine the word tree. So the denotation, if I'm going to look in the dictionary, if I ask you, hey, what's a tree? You're going to say, well, it's this organic plant that starts from a seedling and grows into a sapling and continues to grow and tends to have bark, and depending on what kind of tree it is, it loses its leaves or it doesn't in the fall and winter. And so we'd say that's kind of a denotative, or the denotation of it. Connotation is going to be a little different. So if we were all in a class together, I'd say, close your eyes and think of a tree. And all of you are going to think of different trees. It may be the maple tree that you had in the backyard while you were a kid, or the apple tree that you picked apples from, or just the image of a tree, that you saw in a movie or on TV sometime, or the tree of life from the Bible or something like that. We're all going to have different images, different connotations. Okay, so what's important is to understand denotation and connotation are very important. So denotation is kind of that objective standard, like we all tend to agree this is the denotation. Connotation is more subjective. This is what we're going to bring personally to the definition of a word. And you find very quickly that these are important to understand, because in order to really fully understand people, you need to understand the words they're using. And if you're somebody maybe who's spoken a different language before, or you come to English as your second language, you really understand this. It's so easy to basically mistake other people's words. It seems so obvious, but you don't fully understand the meaning of this word, the connotative meaning. You might misuse it incorrectly, and people might laugh or something like that. So we're going to spend a lot of time this week talking about that. So in your post, you're going to choose a specific word. Now, it can be one of the words from the video you're going to watch on the subject, but it could be something else too. And in fact, I'd encourage you to kind of think about something original or something different. And so you're going to think of the denotative meaning and then different connotative meanings. And you're going to elaborate in your post about why it's important to understand the distinctions there. Maybe talk a little bit about some confusion that may arise when people don't fully understand the connotative meaning, and et cetera, et cetera. So your initial post, that's really what we're going to do, and then you're going to build on that with different replies to your classmates. So one little point, though, just about the posts themselves, and I'll put an announcement on this week as well about this. Do the best you can to try to get your posts in by Tuesday. Your initial post, that is, because that gives you enough time to use the rest of the week to actually reply to your classmates and have people reply to your post, and that's really what gives us a fruitful discussion. So do the best you can. I know it's not always possible, but do the best you can to try to get it in by Tuesday. Now, another point that we're going to talk about quite a bit this week, Tuesday. Now, we all know there's something that's been on our minds, something that's been talked about quite a bit, something that maybe you're really wringing your hands over that's coming up this week, something that really is very, very big, very, very significant on Tuesday, right? Yes, we're talking about our final paper and the instructions that are due out this week. Wink, wink. Okay. Yes, there's something much more important on Tuesday. But the other thing you're going to be talking about, or you're going to be learning about this week, is the instructions for your final paper. Final paper is not going to be due for another 5 weeks, but this is the week where we get introduced to it. So what is it really? I want you to read the instructions, but in a nutshell, you're going to be choosing a topic of some controversy, a topic where people argue, one side or the other, and you're going to explain that topic. You're going to explain why it's controversial. You're going to give me the different perspectives people have. And then at the end of your paper, you're going to explain your position. This is why I feel such and such a way. So, for instance, you can choose a topic like medicinal marijuana or abortion or gun control or the death penalty or illegal immigration, or there's a whole host of things, higher taxation, lower taxation, lots of different kinds of things. Hopefully it's something you're really interested in. And then you're going to elaborate in this paper and talk about the different perspectives people have, pro, con, and then you're going to also give some time to your position. Why do you think the way you think about this? Now, I'm just explaining it to you now. I'm just rolling it out now. We're not going to be choosing the topic this week or choosing your specific argument this week or anything like that. But I want you to know that because there's going to be a second discussion post in the activities folder this week, and that's going to be one where we start to talk about things like essential questions, questions that are going to help us along the way as we start to do our research for this paper. So we've got the regular weekly discussion board, but then we have another one that you're going to be working on as well. This one's a bit shorter, but still I don't want you to forget about it. So that's basically what we're going to be doing here in week 2. So I want you to try to get through the lecture notes and that kind of material as soon as you can. Try to get involved in the discussion boards as quickly as possible. That's going to make it much more interesting and much more fruitful. And remember, if you have any questions, let me know. Email me any day. I try to get back to you not just within 24 hours, but within 10 to 12 hours if I can. And also on Tuesday from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to have my office hours. Now, you're going to do that through Blackboard Collaboration. Now, I may put a post up some other time specific to the instructions on how to do that. Just needless to say, go to, I think it's the Tools tab and then Collaboration, and you'll see the date of that specific office hours. You click on that chat, and boom, you're going to enter the chat room. So please use that time to talk to me about any other questions you may have. I'm looking forward to seeing what you all have to say in the discussion boards, and I'm going to be getting through your emotional intelligence essays as quickly as possible too. Best of luck, folks, and let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks.